The Starfire throne had stood for 12 millennia, and in all that time, no human had ever been permitted within the crystal spires of Draconis Prime. Yet there she stood, Maya Chen, a 23-year-old engineer from Earth, her worn toolkit clutched against her chest like a shield. "Your radiance," she said, bowing low before the dragon Empress Zyrathia, whose scales shimmered like captured galaxies. "I believe I can help your son." The court erupted in hisses and growls. Dragons filled the vast chamber, their forms shifting between humanoid grace and reptilian majesty. None believed a primitive human could achieve what the greatest physicians and quantum surgeons across 6-star systems had failed to accomplish. Prince Essa sat motionless on a smaller throne beside his mother. His eyes, once brilliant amber like all of his kind, now clouded white as dead stars. He had been blind for 7 years, since the day he'd flown too close to the Void Rift, and the antimatter storm had scorched his optical nerves beyond any known regeneration. "Silence," the Empress commanded, her voice resonating through every scale and bone in the chamber. She studied Maya with ancient eyes that had witnessed the birth and death of civilizations. "Speak, human child. What makes you believe you can restore what our most advanced biotechnology could not?" Maya swallowed hard. 6 months ago, she had been a nobody, a dropout from Mars Tech who'd spent her days repairing broken mining equipment on Titan's frozen surface. Then she'd found it, a derelict human-generation ship from the early diaspora, its medical bay containing pre-convergence technology that everyone had forgotten. "Your Radiance, your physicians tried to regenerate his nerves biologically. They attempted quantum entanglement to bypass the damage. They even tried to upload his consciousness to synthetic optics." Maya's voice grew stronger. "But they all assumed dragon physiology worked like every other species in the Galactic Union. They never considered that humans evolved differently." "And what difference could that possibly make?" asked the royal physician, his crimson scales bristling with indignation. "We're stubborn," Maya said simply. "When human technology fails, we don't just accept it. We improvise, we adapt, we use duct tape and prayers and whatever else works." She opened her toolkit, revealing components that looked primitive compared to the gleaming instruments around her. "On that old ship, I found something called a brain-computer interface, technology from when humans first left Earth. It's crude, it's ancient, but it doesn't try to fix what's broken. It just works around it." Essa spoke for the first time, his voice soft but clear. "Mother, let her try. What more can I lose that hasn't already been taken?" The Empress's expression flickered with something rare for dragons, vulnerability. She nodded once. For 3 days and nights, Maya worked in Prince Essa's chambers. She'd explained her plan. Tiny electrodes that would interface directly with his brain's visual cortex, connected to external sensors that would translate light into electrical signals his mind could interpret. It wasn't sight, not truly, but it was something. "The dragons are beautiful, aren't they?" Essa asked on the second night as Maya calibrated the sensors. "Yes," she admitted, "terrifying but beautiful." "I remember colors," he said softly. "The blue of my mother's wings when she flew through nebulae, the gold of the twin suns rising over the crystal spires. Do you think I'll see them again?" Maya's hands stilled. "I don't know. This technology, it might work differently for your neurology. You might see in ways I can't predict, or—" She couldn't finish. "Or nothing," Essa completed. "I understand." "Why did you agree to this?" Maya asked. "You barely know me. I'm just a human." Essa tilted his head toward her voice. "Because you spoke with hope instead of pity. Because you see a problem to be solved, not a tragedy to be mourned. That's very human of you." On the dawn of the 4th day, Maya attached the final connection. The device looked absurd, a crown of human-made circuitry sitting on a dragon prince's head, held together with what was literally duct tape and crystallized adhesive. "Initializing," Maya whispered, her finger hovering over the activation switch. "Your Highness, are you ready?" Essa's mother stood nearby, her massive form tense with barely controlled hope. "Yes," Essa said. Maya pressed the switch. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Essa gasped, a sound no dragon in the chamber had ever heard from him. His hands flew to the device on his head, and his body began to shake. "Essa!" The Empress moved forward, but Maya held up a hand. "Wait! Look at his eyes!" The clouded white was still there, unchanged, but behind them, something sparked. Essa turned his head, slowly at first, then faster. He looked at his hands, flexing his fingers as if seeing them for the first time. He looked at the walls, the ceiling, the gathered court. Then he looked at his mother, and tears, real, impossible tears, fell from his blind eyes. "Mother," he whispered, You're not blue anymore. He struggled for words. "You're made of lightning, of structured energy. I can see the electromagnetic fields, the heat signatures, the quantum fluctuations in your scales. I can see—" He turned to Maya. "I can see everything. Not like before. Better, deeper." The court stood in stunned silence. Maya felt her legs give out, and she sat down hard on the marble floor. It had worked. It had actually worked. And somehow, by accident or miracle. It had given him something more than sight. It had given him a completely new way of perceiving reality. The Empress approached Maya, her massive form somehow gentle. "Human child, you have returned my son to me. Name your reward." Maya looked up at the alien Empress, then at Essa, who was staring at his own hands like they contained entire universes. She thought of all the impossibilities she'd overcome, all the times humans had been underestimated, all the duct tape and prayers that had gotten her species through the centuries. "Your radiance," she said with a tired smile. "I just need a nap, and maybe a chance to show the galaxy what else humans can build with spare parts and stubbornness." Essa laughed, another sound the court had thought lost forever. "Mother, I think we should give her both." And in that moment, the Dragon Empress did something unprecedented in 12,000 years of rule. She smiled at a human. Agreed. The end.